I am here in St. George at my parents' house. Me and Henry came down to get out of the cold and warm up, but in my haste, I forgot something of paramount importance. I forgot my ChiliSleep. Normally I bring it down because it's 90 degrees here and I just left Salt Lake and it was snowing. Plus, I'm in a really tiny bed. My parents are old, which means ACs don't exist. There's only the heater. You gotta understand, if you've never slept with something like a ChiliSleep, a thermoregulation device that can control the temperature of your bed, then you probably don't understand. But if you have, then you know that you'll never, ever, ever, ever go back to like regular bed sleeping again. That's simply not an option. Speaking of options, many of you asked if I could do a review of 8 Sleep's Pod Pro, which is also awesome. I've got to take Henry for a hike, but I thought while we're going on the hike, I'm going to run down all of the things that you need to know before purchasing one of these. They are expensive, but oh my gosh, are they worth it? And then at the end of the video, I'll let you know which one I'm picking and why.
Well, in a shitty turn of events, halfway there to the hike, that happened.
While I wait for the bill, I don't know how much it's going to cost or whatnot. Seems like a perfect segue to talk about probably the most important factor, and that's price. Like I said, both of these are expensive, but both are worth it. Now, when it comes to price, I'm going to compare as best as I can, apples to apples. So let's take a look first at the 8 Sleep Pod Pro that covers a queen, all right? It is $17.45. It used to be $17.95, but they dropped it $50. Now that's with a mattress cover that covers up to a 16-inch mattress. All right, so one unit and then the Pod Pro cover up to a 16-inch mattress on a queen-size bed. 8 Sleep uses one unit to cover the entire bed, both sides. If you don't need a cover that covers up to a 16-inch and you want something that goes a little smaller, that'll save you an extra $100. Now, ChiliSleep uses 2 units, one to cover each side of the bed. For a queen, it's $16.99, and their mattress cover covers up to an 18-inch mattress. If you want to cover just one side, you can. It's called the Me system, and that is going to save you a lot of money, $700, so it's only $9.99. There are some really cool features in the 8 Sleeps app. Most of them are free. However, some of them, like Autopilot, is a $15 a month charge. So just know, if you get the 8 Sleep and you really want Autopilot and some of the other content, it's going to be an extra $15 per month. I don't know how long this process is going to take, so I'm going to talk to you about the setup process for both the 8 Sleep and the ChiliSleep. With the 8 Sleep Pod Pro, what I really like is that it's a very hand-holding procedure. Like, they walk you through every aspect of setting it up. At no point do you feel like you're doing something wrong. But with ChiliSleep, even though I'm pretty smart and I've used these items a lot and I have more experience than maybe most, there were many times where I was like, am I doing this right? Make sure you do not remove the reservoir when putting in the cleaning solution or water, as it will just come out of the bottom. Okay, so I just made a huge mistake, but I'm glad you got to see that. Don't take that thing out and then pour that in there, because there's nothing to stop the liquid from going through. So I wish the setup process would have been a little more guided on the ChiliSleep side. Well, after a $452.89 bill, we are back on the road.
Oh man, yesterday did not go as planned. Between the car failing and then us getting to the actual hiking spot, the wind was so bad that all of the footage we shot was totally unusable. So this is attempt number 3. You're a pretty good hiker, Henry.
Why don't we go ahead and go over what we've covered so far. We've covered the price, we've covered the setup process. At this point, let's kind of dive into the cover, the controls, and the app. As far as the cover goes, again, I'd have to say it's a tie. If we were using the cover from ChiliSleep's previous models, like the Uller and the Cube, it would definitely go to the 8Sleep's cover. However, with the DockPro, they released a brand new cover, and they are both wonderful. They're both super soft. The cooling area is massive. It's almost the entirety of the bed. So on this one, you're gonna be fine with either cover. There's no real distinct advantages from either. However, on the ChiliSleep, remember you've got 2 sets of tubes because they're going out to 2 devices. And on the 8Sleep Pod Pro, you've got 1 set of tubes because that one unit controls both sides of the bed. Now, speaking of controls, the 8Sleep Pod Pro uses an app. Everything is done in the app. But on the ChiliSleep DockPro, you do have external touch-sensitive buttons. So this means that in the middle of the night, you wake up and you need to change a setting, you don't have to grab your phone and open up the app to change anything. You can do that right on the unit itself with those touch-sensitive buttons. Speaking of the app, both of them have great apps. Both of them are super easy to use. Both of them use Wi-Fi, which is nice. So you can control any setting from pretty much anywhere. However, I've got to give an advantage to the 8Sleep Pod Pro on this one because they just have so many features built into the app. Not only is it good looking, the UI is great, it's easy to use, super easy to navigate, but they have some incredible features. If you love the Whoop as much as I do, especially for sleep assessment, you're gonna get the same quality built in to your 8Sleep Pod Pro. That's right, everything from heart rate variability, resting heart rate, disturbances, tosses and turns, temperature, all of that is measured in the app with the 8Sleep Pod Pro. Now the ChiliSleep is eventually going to have this, but they don't have it now. So that's why the advantage goes to the 8Sleep Pod Pro. They have all those features now. Now, earlier I mentioned that you could get additional features for 15 bucks a month. Something like Autopilot, which is absolutely incredible. Autopilot measures your biometrics, so all those factors that I just mentioned just now, like your skin temperature, your heart rate, plus it measures the ambient room temperature and constantly throughout the night adjusts its temperature so it can ensure that you have the best night of sleep possible. That's amazing. That feature is in the paid version though. So 15 bucks a month and you get Autopilot plus a bunch of other sleep content, meditations, things to help you go to sleep faster and stay asleep longer. How amazing does this place look? Incredible. Speaking of looks, which device would you want to put in your room and feature as a statement piece? I really have to go with the 8Sleep Pod Pro. It's simple, it's elegant looking, it's like as if Tesla had a baby with Apple. That's what it looks like. I also like the fact that it's vertical, so it takes up less space. Come here, come here. Oh, come on. Papa's got you. Oh, come here, big boy. Yeah. To finish, we're gonna cover 3 different things. We're gonna go over noise level, performance, and maintenance. When it comes to noise, both of them, again, this is kind of a wash, a tie. Both of them operate around 41 to 46 decibels, and I believe that's at a foot, and at 3 feet where your head will probably be for the night while you sleep, it's almost inaudible. With maintenance, I've got to give the edge to the ChiliSleep DockPro, and here's why. Both of them offer removable reservoirs, which is great. Makes cleaning easier when you have to put in the cleaning solution and feed it through the system. Having a removable reservoir is just kind of a convenience factor. But the ChiliSleep goes one step further. They actually have a removable and replaceable air filter. Now, when it comes to performance, this is probably the single biggest factor in why you guys are watching this. Which one is the better performer? And I've got to give it to the DockPro. Now, they both reach the same temperatures. On the low end, 55 degrees. On the high end, the DockPro goes a little bit higher to 115 as opposed to 8Sleep's 110. However, it's not just about temperatures. Really, when I'm thinking about performance is how fast can it reach those temperatures? It's great if it can hit 55, but if it takes 45 minutes to do it, that's not that great. The DockPro gets there. You can feel it changing within seconds, like almost instantaneously. And the 8Sleep isn't too far behind, but the DockPro does perform better. Closing this out, I want to cover a few quirks of each of these devices, something that I think is really important that you should know about. Let's start with the 8Sleep Pod Pro. I think the biggest elephant in the room here is that you have to use an app. There's no physical controls. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, you have to turn on your phone. That phone's bright. I don't know about you, but that kind of like jump starts my brain. Secondly, it's one device that powers both sides. So if that one device goes on the fritz, you're kind of SOL. With the DockPro, you get two of them. So if your side goes out, at least your partner's side can still be used and they can still have a good night's sleep. Both are wonderful. I can't state this enough. You're going to be so happy with either one. However, for me and my wife, because we get 2 units and it's so damn cold and so fast, whether she wants to sleep warmer and I want to sleep cooler, it's so fast, we choose the DockPro. Well, there you have it. I hope you liked the video. Please hit the like button. It goes a long way. And maybe buy a unit or 2 because this video cost me about $800 to make. I'm just joking, but seriously, buy one. You won't regret it. It'll change your sleep forever. Hit that subscribe button. And me and Henry, we'll catch you later. Peace. We had a lot of fun here. More love and fun, huh?